The heat wraps around me, scorching and relentless. I'm thrown into a whirlwind of chaos, the sound of bending metal screaming like tortured voices. It's a cacophony that fills the air with a palpable sense of dread. Distant screams echo, drifting through the thickening haze of smoke. Each inhale burns, a sharp sting in my lungs, as if the fire itself is clawing its way inside me. Everything feels surreal, like a nightmare from which I cannot wake. I stagger forward, disoriented, my senses in overdrive. The ground shakes violently beneath me, tremors radiating from some unseen source. The acrid smell of burning wood and plastic envelops me, mingling dangerously with the coppery tang of my own sweat and fear. In this instant, I can't process anything, only react. Instinct kicks in. I must save them. I must find my brothers in arms. But the chaos overwhelms, distorting reason into sheer panic. A gust of heated wind rushes by, whipping my hair into my eyes. I wipe it away, but the heat is suffocating, a heavy blanket that pulls at my resolve. Sirens, yes, there are sirens. They howl, blend into the inferno, but truthfully, they feel distant as safety itself. My pulse quickens, pounding in my ears louder than the confusion surrounding me. A figure stumbles, a comrade. I reach out. "Jack," I call, my voice slicing through the turmoil. But the flames roar back, drowning out my words, pulling me deeper into the maw of destruction. Clarity flashes, then fades. With each beat of my heart, the instinct to run mingles with the desire to protect. I take a step, another. The ground lurches beneath me as if it has a mind of its own, trying to throw me into the very arms of the fire. Then I hear it, a twist of metal, a crash. It's as if the world is folding in on itself. In a heartbeat, my thoughts scramble to make sense of this growing horror. All the training, all the moments of camaraderie, they flash before me. Laughter over coffee, gripping hands in solidarity, promises of loyalty, all swirling in this storm of despair. Time and space feel warped, a disorienting cyclone of reality spiraling out of control. I feel the heat close in, relentless and consuming. I hear their voices, the rush of my colleagues, the weight of their fear crashing against mine. The air grows thick and suffocating, and the reality of it sharpens against my skin. I glance around, each silhouette a fleeting figure lost in the smoke. I think of home, of the loved ones waiting for us to return, and suddenly it's not about the fire anymore. It's about them. Yet, the fire roars louder, drowning out those thoughts. A deafening crash reverberates, and my heart races as the ground shifts violently beneath me. It all happens in a fraction of a second, a moment suspended, yet infinitely stretched. My breath halting, an instinctual understanding blooms as darkness begins to seep in. And then, suddenly, silence. It blankets everything in an unnatural stillness, that thick, heavy void that follows chaos. The noise of the world evaporates, replaced by an eerie calm. Time stands still, as if the universe has taken a breath, holding it. In that stillness, I finally understand. In that silence, I am lost. I float here, adrift in this empty silence, fractured by the echo of voices I once knew. A thread of consciousness slowly weaves itself through the haze, and with it, I realize that I am not lost, but transformed. I am John, the firefighter, the protector, the brother in arms. A flicker of recognition stirs within me, though it comes with a softness, a gentle ache. I can hear it clearly now, the resounding laughter that danced through the firehouse, the way we shared stories over cups of burnt coffee, eyes bright with camaraderie. We were a family forged in fire, bound by oaths taken while fear lurked in the dark corners of the unknown. Memories roll back, unbidden, like waves crashing against the shore. "I'll always have your back, brother." That was Jack, his voice gruff with sincerity, a promise nestled in his smirk. We were young, invincible, or so we thought. I can see his face, the way his eyes sparkled in the glow of the firehouse lights. I remember the friendship, the bonds we built out of ashes and shared struggles. As we faced flames together, an understanding deepened, each one of us a piece of something bigger, something worth protecting. But now, I drift in a void, the intimate connections reduced to specters of memory. The truth lingers in the air, heavy with regret. I wanted to be their shield, to protect them from danger, from the grim reality that shadows our noble calling.
Yet, I could not save them. Not from this, not from that day. The images flicker like old film clips, moments that showed life before the flames stole it away. I remember waking up that morning, the sun barely peeking through the blinds. The comfort of routine, the rhythm of daily tasks, the laughter during breakfast. A toothless grin on my daughter's face, the way she wrapped her tiny arms around my neck as I left for work, trusting me to return. "Be safe, Daddy," she had whispered. My heart swelled with love, but I brushed away the weight of apprehension nibbling at my mind, shrugging it off like stray ash. I can still hear her giggle, the innocent sound chasing away fears. "I promise I'll be back tonight," I said without hesitation. How could I have guessed that promised returns can crumble like the buildings we fought to save? The day unfolded like so many others, the familiar banter with my crew wrapping around us like a protective cloak, blurring the edges of our mortality. We exchanged jokes, shared meals, and swore our loyalty to one another. I had felt invincible, the master of my domain, standing shoulder to shoulder with brave souls. But there had been omens too, many storms in my peripheral vision. The tightness in my chest, the nagging thought that something was about to change. The skyline felt different that day, something was off. I dismissed it, just another fleeting feeling drowned in the chaos of duty. "You worry too much, John," I could hear Jack tease, throwing a friendly punch on my shoulder. Laughing it off, we moved through the day as though we were mere mortals, oblivious to the hand fate had already played against us. As I float in this liminal space, I grasp for clarity, tracing back through the tapestry of my existence. Each thread tied to another life lost. It aches, the realization of both love and loss, of brothers who stood beside me in the flames. Memories woven into dog tags, each marked name resonating with a truth that plagues me, that fills this vast emptiness with voices. A stirring within me strengthens. The knowledge of my death weighs heavily, its presence both omnipresent and nearly forgotten, floating like a half-remembered dream. I have passed into a world untouched by time, yet filled with echoes of the ties that bind us. I see flashes of their faces, of the men I fought with, their laughter, their fears. I am still John, still their brother, but I exist in this space now, beyond the fiery grasp of death. I was once a figure in a uniform, belonging to a team forged in flames. But now I see more than just shadows. I see love blooming through shared struggles, lives touched by courage, strength that overcame fear. I can taste their sorrow, their bravery, and the loss that unfolded. My heart stretches against this void, yearning for one last connection. I think of them, the brothers and sisters who remain, the unsung heroes who risk it all to protect the innocent. I wish I could reach back through time, offer them comfort, whisper words of solace. I wonder if they feel me, this pulse of energy resonating through them. But the weight of my absence also presses down. The things left unsaid, the promises half kept wrap around my chest like chains. In this stillness, regret flits like a trapped bird, reminding me of everything I wish to say, everything I cannot transform into words. Yet now, suspended between what has passed and what remains, I understand that even as I drift, I will be remembered. Each of us carries a piece of the other, a token of love, forged in the fire of life and death. And in that realization, from this place beyond, I see that I am never truly lost. The day began like any other, unfurling with the comfort and rhythm of routine. Morning sunlight filled the firehouse, illuminating the scattered gear and chairs, while the aroma of brewing coffee wafted through the air. Laughter echoed as we gathered around a table, swapping stories from previous shifts, a shared warmth enveloping us. I can still hear Jack's exaggerated tales of mishaps gone hilariously wrong, punctuated with jovial laughter that bound us as brothers. But beneath the laughter lingered an unease, a subtle tension that scratched at the edges of our joviality. It was an unspoken weight, a collective anxiety that had begun to settle among us, barely noticeable yet palpable. I shrugged it off, attributing it to nerves or fatigue. "You worry too much, John," Jack teased, rolling his eyes. "Tomorrow's another day." As the morning transitioned into duty, a familiar cadence took over. We mounted the engine with a sense of purpose.
The engine rumbling beneath us as we sped through the streets. But I couldn't shake the nagging feeling in my gut, the sense that we were racing towards something we weren't prepared for. When we arrived at the fiery scene, the flames danced before us, a ferocious beast raging against the backdrop of an ominous sky. I inhaled deeply, the heat pressing down, igniting the fight inside me, a primal urge to protect and save. We sprang into action, adrenaline surging as we fell into the rhythm of combating the blaze, the teamwork as natural as breathing. Still, that uneasy feeling festered in the pit of my stomach, growing more pronounced with every step toward the inferno. Time felt fluid, moments stretching and colliding in a dizzying spiral. I saw Jack's face, brows furrowed, his determination fortifying, yet behind his courage lay an echo of concern that mirrored my own. We exchanged a glance, a fleeting connection, tinged with an unspoken understanding of our mortality as we faced the relentless flames. As we moved through the smoke, the intensity of the heat roared like thunder, threatening to drown out reason. I fought against the chaos, side by side with my brothers, but that gnawing foreboding grew heavier, clinging like sweat. Each moment felt sacred yet precarious, a reminder of how quickly life could spiral out of control. The sounds mixed, shouting, the crackling wood, the distant wail of sirens, creating a symphony of urgency. Each decision, each choice we made, entwined our fates closer as we plunged deeper into the maelstrom, unaware that the very foundation beneath us was shifting. Every step intertwined laughter with dread, bravery with impending doom. In those final moments of clarity, I witnessed a fleeting image of my daughter, the way she smiled, endless in her innocence. "I'll be back," I promised silently, though doubt crept in through the corners of my mind. As my heart raced, somewhere deeper in my consciousness, I sensed that we were approaching our limits. A bright flash of reality, a whisper that perhaps this time the flames would consume not just the surroundings, but also the very essence of us. Each heartbeat echoed the realization that life was fragile, and our brave facades were merely masks concealing the shadows lurking behind. The building above us groaned, an omnipresent reminder that fate has a way of striking at the most unpredictable moments. As we pushed forward, the thick smoke clouded our vision, our breaths mingling with desperation. And then it happened. The world imploded in an instant, the ground shuddering beneath us. In the face of an impending catastrophe, the siren of the flames reached a fever pitch. I should have heeded the signs. I should have understood that this was the knife's edge where bravery and folly converged, a precarious dance against the flames, against fate itself. I felt the boundaries of my existence blur, stitched together by the urgency of our purpose, but fraying at the edges by the lurking uncertainties. The last moments before chaos descended played over and over in my mind, a dreadful pattern I couldn't shake. The laughter, the warmth,
The camaraderie melded into something haunting, a fierce reminder of the life I loved and the family waiting for me at home. But in the midst of swirling flames and impending doom, I didn't realize how quickly everything could change, how promises could dissolve like smoke in the air. I looked at my brothers, fragile yet steadfast, each unified under the same oath, unaware that our fate was drawn near, scripted not by us, but by that unrelenting force of nature, the blaze that devoured all in its path. In those final seconds, time slipped away, leaving only echoes of our laughter, fading memories swallowed whole by the flames. Time stretches, folding in upon itself, as alarm bells clang within my mind. I float in this ethereal void, an existence woven from fragments and fleeting memories. I see flashes of my life, images swirling like smoke in the air. Each one seems both familiar and strange. Yet through it all, one object stands out, shining with clarity amidst the haze. The locket my daughter gave me. Its silver surface is cool against my skin, an anchor in a world set ablaze. That morning had been like any other. I remember waking to the soft sound of her drawings, her crayons skidding across paper as she created worlds of color. I had watched her, smiling at the innocent joy that radiated from her, unaware that this day would soon shift everything in our lives. I had donned my uniform, the crisp fabric feeling both heavy and empowering, ready to face the day. "Keep it close, Daddy," she had chirped, that locket clasped in her tiny hand, her eyes wide with hope. "It's magic. You'll always come home."
That sweet promise resonated with me, binding my heart to hers as I made a silent vow beneath the morning sun to keep her safe. I slipped the locket into my pocket, an embrace of protection nestled against the fabric that shielded my heart. It wasn't just a piece of jewelry, it was an embodiment of our love, a talisman woven into the very fabric of my being. I glanced at the locket every now and then throughout the day, its presence a sweet, soothing reassurance amidst the chaos of the firehouse. It became a gentle reminder to not only carry out my duties, but to love fiercely, both to shield her from life's harshness and to cherish every fleeting moment we had left together. While the world outside buzzed with urgency, that locket remained a promise etched in silver, pulling my spirit homeward. When the alarm rang, cutting through the safety of our routine, urgency surged through me like electricity. We raced to the scene, our hearts united in purpose, each thunderous heartbeat echoing a feeling of invincibility. "We're firefighters," we told ourselves, each of us prepared to face the wrath of flames without hesitation. But as heat enveloped us and fear mingled with determination, it became impossible to shake the echo of my daughter's laughter reverberating in my mind. As we arrived on scene, I was met with a landscape transformed. Flames licking at the sky, sirens wailing loudly against the chaos of cracking timber. The world shifted quickly from calm to crisis. A monstrous inferno roared and consumed everything in its path. Against the backdrop of this terrifying beauty, panic began to grip my heart. "Stay focused," I told myself. I felt the cool locket pressing against my chest, a talisman that pulsed with an energy of its own. A reminder that I wasn't just a firefighter, I was a father, a protector. The heat surged forward, pushing us back, urging us to reconsider our next steps. We fought valiantly, but the fire danced around us, taunting our every effort, claiming ground with the ease of a swift current dragging you under. Confusion blended with desperation as we forged ahead, the locket swaying gently in my pocket, urging me to harness that love and bring it forth into the chaos. In the midst of dire moments, laughs turned to cries, and every step felt weighted by the unrelenting voices of uncertainty. I locked eyes with my brothers, fragile yet unwavering. Together we pushed through, each of us driven by the unspoken bond we shared, a bond of courage, loyalty, and love. But just when I thought I could hold on to that promise of safety, reality struck like lightning.
The earth trembled beneath us, an ominous warning that reverberated through my very core. The building began to groan, the walls struggling to contain the chaos erupting within. We had become inches away from a life-or-death moment, and fear wrapped tightly around my heart. In that instant, my focus narrowed. The echoes of my daughter's laughter grew louder, hand in hand with the consuming flames. Time slipped through my fingers, memories blending into a swirl of color, a cruel reminder of what I could potentially lose. I gripped the locket tightly, reminded that every second ticking away could unravel the fabric of our lives, and the stakes were higher than ever. "I'll come back," I thought fiercely, but the words felt fragile, wavering in the tremors of the world around us. The flames roared, desperate to consume us, and if fate was to intervene, it felt as though it could do so in the bat of an eye. What could separate a father from his child? What could sever that bond? As my brothers worked beside me, igniting the fire with courage, I grasped the locket tightly, envisioning my daughter's bright eyes looking up at me, her innocent belief bolstering my resolve. Amid the chaos, I felt a shift. Perhaps it was in recognizing that even as the flames threatened, love was still a force of resilience, a power lying in the truest statement I could utter, even before the chaos erupted. As I inhaled the smoke-laden air, I vowed silently, whether in this life or the next, her belief in me would be my salvation. And before reality could shatter once more, I heard an unsettling crack above. The fire roared like a furious dragon, its breath hot against my face. In that fleeting moment, I watched as the world spun out of control, engulfed in flames, while my heart clung fiercely to the promise of returning to my daughter. With the locket still pressed against my heart, as the walls trembled around us, I took a breath, preparing for the inevitable as the illusion of safety dissolved like mist chasing the dawn. Understanding that my role as protector extended far beyond this moment. I would always carry a piece of her with me, wherever fate might lead. As the structure fell apart above us and darkness loomed, I enveloped myself in the shroud of love that bound us together. I would face whatever was to come, and somewhere deep within me, I knew, amid the loss and the flames, I would emerge, still a father, still a protector, an unbreakable bond forged in the heart. Time bends and contorts around me as I take one last desperate breath, a gasp filled with something akin to resignation and fierce determination. My heart pounds against the walls of my chest, a raging drum, keeping time with the chaos surrounding me. The flames roar like a monstrous symphony, their hot breath lapping at my skin, desperate to consume every ounce of life left in this structure. The world feels like it's imploding, collapsing in chaos. But even in that madness, a singular thought anchors me. I must return to her. "I will come back," I murmur, the words slipping past my lips like an incantation, fragile yet heavy with meaning. The inferno behind me clamors, desperate to engulf us, but in the dark recesses of my heart, I can't shake the image of my daughter's bright smile, the warmth of her laughter wrapping around me like a lifeline. I envision her clutching the locket, her sweet face illuminated with innocence. The bond we share is a shimmering tether woven in silver, stretching across the chasm of uncertainty. My brothers move with me, this unified band of warriors who willingly march toward chaos, ignited by purpose. I look at them, their resolve mirroring my own, and together we form a mosaic of courage, each heartbeat synchronized with the belief that love conquers all. The crack of timber overhead sends a shiver through my spine, a sharp reminder that the moment is precarious, each second ticking down like a countdown to something inevitable. "We need to move," I shout over the din, urgency sharpening every word. The fire roars in response, as if mocking our determination. And so we charge forward. Each step is a deliberate act of defiance. As we push against the consuming flames, I grip the locket tightly within my pocket, feeling its cold metal against my palm. It is a talisman, more than an object. It's the embodiment of promises made, and the raw love that ignites my spirit. "I'll make it back to you, little star," I whisper internally, as if my words have the power to transcend this inferno, reaching across the void toward her. The world explodes around us, the walls groaning like wounded beasts, and I can hear the unmistakable crack of wood splintering, making the very air vibrate with danger. With every feral roar of flame, the heat surges, a looming threat against our fragile existence. "Press on," I shout, guiding my brothers as I navigate through the swirling haze of smoke. With renewed strength, we push through twisted metal and scorched remnants. Freedom glimmers tantalizingly ahead, a colder air kissed by the outside world. My lungs burn, but I can't relent. I face both the flames and my fears, clenching my teeth as the fire clashes against my resolve. I remember playing with my daughter in the garden, the warm sun casting light on us as she giggled, her laughter sparking joy in my heart. "Just like this," I said, as we raced toward the horizon, her tiny hand nestled safely in mine. A life free of fear, a life of innocence. I promised her then that I'd always shield her from harm, always return to her. A sudden explosion erupts and I flinch, body tossing to the ground as debris rains down like blackened rain. The world spins, my hearing momentarily dulled, drowning out the chaos around me. Everything feels unreal, like I've stepped outside myself, watching through the veil of impending doom. "Get up," I force the command out, quelling the wild panic swelling in my chest. I grasp at the ground beneath me, feeling the coarse texture of the asphalt, pulling me back to reality as I surge forward. I can see the faint outline of the exit now, light spilling into the darkness, promising salvation. "Come on, we can do this," I urge my brothers as they scramble to their feet, their determination revitalizing my own. We surge toward the light, a collective rush against the cacophony of screams and chaos, forging a path through the swirling smoke. But just as we inch closer, I hear another crack, this one sharper, more urgent. My heart drops. Time seems to stretch,
The world around us transforming into a slow-motion nightmare of noise. "Not now!" I growl at the shadows, defiance fueling every ounce of my being. We make a final push, staggering forward until we burst through the threshold, tumbling out into the night like reborn phoenixes. The cold night air slams into me, washing over my singed skin, pulling me back from the abyss. I'm alive. We're alive. But all is not over. The whispers of fear linger in the back of my mind. The certainty of danger still throbs in my chest as I glance back at the burning building, the flames licking at the air, clawing at the very remnants of what was. Did we lose anyone? I turn to my brothers. Their faces bear the marks of soot and exhaustion, but they are here. We are here, encircled in each other's presence, something sacred amidst the remnants of chaos. With a chorus of deep breaths, we begin to regroup, the familiar sounds of sirens wailing in the distance. They call out, to us, to the smoke, the scene that demanded urgency and compassion. I grab my brothers by the shoulders, and we share a silent bond. We have survived, a testament to our resilience, our determination still aflame in our hearts, even amid the shadows. As we sink down onto the cool pavement, I clutch the locket against my chest, feeling that warm pulse of hope mingling with the adrenaline kept at bay. I close my eyes, letting the coolness wash over me, allowing a moment of reflection, of gratitude. The balance of life continues, the world seamlessly turning, but my world stands still in that moment, held hostage by the memories of home, of joy, of a life waiting for my return. And as the wail of sirens melds into the hum of life beyond the chaos, I venture a glance upward, seeking the celestial tapestry painted above. Twinkling lights beckoning like soft whispers, guiding me home. I promise the universe, the flames behind me, a backdrop to my resolve. I will always be there for her.
I will show her the love that endures beyond any trial, beyond any fire. With the locket still pressed against my heart, I allow the firm resolve to settle within me. I made it through the tempest, and I have my battle scars, each one a reminder of the love that fuels my purpose. I will carry it, that ageless bond, into the future, relentless against the shadows. For love whispers that as long as I have breath, we will never be apart. The world around me shifts into an eerie stillness, muffled and distant, as if I've been submerged beneath the surface of a tranquil lake. Voices rise and fall like waves lapping at the shore, but they are waters I cannot touch. I blink, trying to shake off the disorientation, yet each blink elongates the time I linger in this strange realm, a world neither here nor there, a limbo. I float in this space, detached from the weight of my body, as if I'm a wisp of smoke spiraling upward into the vast expanse. I feel light, as though the burdens that once anchored me have been stripped away, leaving only a flickering essence behind. My thoughts swirl like autumn leaves caught in a gentle breeze, but I cling to one singular idea: love. I no longer hear the sirens or the crackling fire. Instead, there is a soft, ambient hum that resonates within me, flowing in and out, creating a symphony of the unexplainable. It is familiar yet foreign, a tune that speaks to the marrow of my being, each note wrapping around me like the warmth of a loved one's embrace. In this limbo, memories flicker like stars across the night sky. I see my daughter's face, the way her eyes sparkled in the sunlight when she discovered the magic of her first flower, the way she laughed, joy radiating from within. It reminds me of all the moments we shared, but now they ripple through me like shadows dancing on the walls of my mind. I grasp for them, eager to hold on to these fond recollections, yet they slip through my fingers like water. Is this what it means to be suspended between two worlds? I feel simultaneously disconnected from the chaos that once consumed me and tethered to the love that propelled me forward. I trace the outline of the locket still pressed against my heart, now a soft beacon amid this surreal landscape. It pulses gently, a heartbeat, a reminder. I am still a father. Somewhere within this space, I become aware of echoes, a chorus of past conversations, whispers that glide through the air, glancing off the walls of my mind. "Daddy, where are you?" Her voice,
Tender and innocent, cuts through the haze. Come home. The sound pulls at me, an invisible thread that tugs my very essence toward the light. Here, sweetheart! I yearn to shout, but the words hang suspended in the ether, a wish never fully formed. I twist and turn in this expanse, searching for her, for the source of that beautiful sound, that radiant light. But amidst the flickering thoughts, I stumble upon harder memories too, buried beneath the laughter. Fights with my own father, moments of doubt, shadows of regret lurking in corners I had stuffed away. Stories echoing fraught with unspoken words left hanging on my tongue. I recall how I hesitated to express my love, fearing vulnerability, never fully understanding that relationships flourish in openness, not silence. The weight of that pain washes over me, a stark contrast to the lightness around me. I confront them as they swirl around me, calling my name, a haunting melody of past choices. Forgive me, I whisper into the vastness, hoping somehow that my remorse trickles through the fabric of time. Forgive me for not always being there, for not always loving freely. I just wanted to protect you. There is no response, only the gentle hum reverberating, a soothing balm against the sting of regret. Time loses meaning, stretching into an infinity wrapped in quietude. I begin to comprehend the essence of this limbo, the space between moments where emotions are laid bare, where I am stripped of my earthly self and reborn in their presence. Revelations flicker to life, illuminating my thoughts as I embrace the truth that love is not bound by time or space, it transcends them. Amidst these feelings, I sense a stirring, a presence. Flickers of light bloom like tiny stars, each representing the love I've shared and the souls I've touched. There is a glowing warmth, thrumming with energy, entwined with the stories I've lived. I watch in awe as more shapes appear, memories of laughter shared with friends, the fleeting yet beautiful moments that define existence. Suddenly, the light grows brighter, urging me closer, inviting me to dive into the shimmering pool. I'm drawn in, feeling the embrace of this luminous warmth washing over me, cleansing the remnants of my earthly fears. You are here, I think. You have always been here. Images morph into shapes, illuminating one another with glows of affection and connection. I see my daughter again, standing in this realm of light, her smile wide, unmarred by the shadows of the past. You came back, she radiates, her voice clear and crystalline. You found me, I stammer. Yes, I'm here, Yet the words feel inadequate against the depth of emotion swelling within. To look at her now, unharmed and vibrant, like the sun breaking through the dawn, a radiant beacon of pure joy, makes the pain of our separation pale in comparison. I always find you, I finally manage, letting warmth envelop me. Love cascades around us, and in that moment, all the fears, regrets, and burdens dissipate into the ether of nothingness. Her laughter dances in the air like chimes, each giggle echoing the truth I long believed. Together, we can illuminate the shadows. Surrounded in the glow of that love, I feel whole, stitched together by the thin, delicate thread of connection that binds us. I am her father, and she is my daughter. No flame can extinguish that bond. And just like that, the shadows begin to retreat, the space between realms condensing as I am pulled gently from the vastness. The light envelops me in a sweet embrace, and though I do not know what awaits beyond, a new harmony blossoms in my heart. The echoes of love become solid, and I know that when I awaken, I will carry this moment with me. Whatever lies ahead, I will navigate it, unfurling this love throughout every stage of life, instilling the truths I've learned. I let the warmth of my daughter fill my soul, promising to keep her light close. The bond between us stirs like the whispers of a gentle breeze, propelling me forward from this limbo into the embrace of reality, a journey toward home. As the warm light envelops me, I feel myself being gently unraveled, the threads of uncertainty and fear loosening their grip. It is a reassuring sensation, like shedding a heavy coat worn for too long. The embrace of love, the very essence of this luminous presence, promises a renewal. Suddenly, I find myself standing on familiar ground, solid, warm, and alive. The scent of blooming flowers fills the air, sweet and invigorating, as memories cascade around me like blooming petals in spring. I blink, allowing clarity to wash over me, and there she stands, my daughter. A swell of disbelief floods my heart as I take her in. She is here, vibrant and full of life, like the sun arising after a long night. I kneel, opening my arms wide. "Sweetheart!" The word tumbles out in a breathless leap of joy. She runs to me with a laughter that embodies pure, unfiltered happiness, a melody that drowns all shadows. As she collapses into my embrace, I feel her warmth seep into my very core. It's an anchor, a recognition that no matter how far I may wander, we will always be connected. "You came back," she whispers against my shoulder, and I can almost taste the sweetness of her joy amidst the fragrant blooms surrounding us. "Always," I respond, pulling back to look into her eyes, deep pools of trust bathed in light. "I promised you, didn't I?" In that moment, I can feel the weight of the locket nestled securely against my chest, its cool metal a reminder of all the love shared through time and space. "Did you miss me?" she asks, with a curious tilt of her head, and warmth envelops me again, the gentle reassurance that I was never truly gone, merely discovering what love can transcend.
As we walk together through the garden, I find comfort in the vibrant beauty around us. The petals bending and swaying, whispering stories of life weaved in colors and shapes. What's this place? I wonder aloud, inhaling the rich scents of blossoms and fresh earth. This is where dreams touch reality, she replies, eyes shining like stars. Where you can feel all the love that binds us, no matter the distance. With every step, I begin to understand. This garden is a manifestation of all the love we have shared, the warmth we fostered even in darkness. I see memories floating around us, images of laughter at birthdays, quiet moments together, and starlit nights cuddled beneath blankets. Each memory flutters to life with vivid clarity, like fireflies dancing in a twilight sky. Are you happy? I ask, wanting to ensure she feels the love that surrounds her. Always, she beams, and in that single word, I feel the depths of her honesty. It fills me with a profound sense of peace, a balm against the separation we once endured. I reach out, brushing a strand of hair away from her face, feeling the warmth of her spirit. And I will always be, I add, a promise etched into the very fabric of my existence. The feeling washes over me, washing away the hesitations of my heart. No matter what shadows may come, I will always find my way back to you. Suddenly, there's a sound, like the soft chime of bells. I turn to see the trees glimmering, their leaves shimmering, reflecting the garden's light, whispering the eternal truth we now share. The world is waiting for you, she says, her voice laced with both joy and gentle insistence. A sensation of longing stirs deep within me. Reality is calling. I can feel its pull, a melody that resonates with my spirit. The garden remains, a sacred space, yet I know I must return to the world, to the life I vowed to protect. I kneel once more, enveloping her in a heartfelt embrace, holding her tightly. Be patient with me, my love. I will carry you with me always. The warmth of her spirit intertwines with my own, and the boundaries between us blur as the light around us begins to shift. I can feel the tug of time pulling at me, beckoning me toward the path beyond this serene garden. Promise me you'll visit? She asks softly, and uncertainty flickers, but I nod with a smile, wiping the tears that brim in my eyes. Always, I swear, letting the words slip into the ether. As I step back, the light fragments around us, weaving tendrils that wrap back into the garden's embrace, creating a tapestry of love that lingers in the air, radiant and shimmering. I look back one last time to find her beam at me, her essence glimmering like the stars above, every twinkle a testament of my love for her and ours together. And as I walk into the emerging light, I embrace the world that awaits, feeling a tether of love guiding me forward, my heart full, anchored in the promises we share. In that moment, with every step, I understand. I am whole. I am a father. This love is unbreakable, a luminous bond echoing through time, illuminating the path ahead.